You're still tuned into your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. Now, the Marvel Avengers have assembled on our consoles for their latest showdown. But is it super? That's the big question. Gareth Woods joins us for his take and his review on this game. As always, Gareth, it's great to have you with us. How are you doing this morning, man?
Yeah, always good to be here. A little bit tired from staying up late playing video games all night. Yeah,
nice problems.
Otherwise, we're good.
Look, Graham, I've got to ask, look, we expect so much when it comes to the Marvel movies, and I know it's inevitable that we're going to draw a comparison between the game and the movies, but I've got to start off by asking, what is it like playing each character and then also assembling that ensemble of characters that you get within the game?
Let's be honest, the movie, kind of comic book movie game tie-ins have traditionally been terrible. Let's be honest. Like, if we go way back to some of the first Spider-Man and Batman, all these games, they've generally been bad. And then suddenly it felt roundabout like the year 2000 or so with the Batman Arkham game, where suddenly people were like, whoa, superhero games can actually be not only like palatable, but really good. And then the bars just kept raising. You had Spider-Man a couple of years ago that was just phenomenal as well on the PlayStation. And now Marvel Avengers is out and it's great. But I feel like in a lot of ways it's feeling the brunt that the standard of games is being less forgiving. It feels great to play as a different hero, so from the Hulk to Thor to Iron Man, they all play very differently, which is great. But I would say that it maybe doesn't reach the heights that some of the Batman and the Spider-Man games have reached, and that's maybe because there are so many characters. But still, great fun. It's awesome to smash tanks as the Hulk, or fly around or as Iron Man. So yeah, they've done a great job in like you asked, the feeling that you feel like those superheroes.
Talk to me about the solo versus co-op gaming options that you have in this particular game and how they fare.
You've got the solo campaign, which is really the story, and it's pretty well put together, and it's a quite engaging story, and you feel like you have a reason to play. It's not just, as you said, Hulk smash buttons. There's a reason to play all the time, which is great. Then it moves on to a co-op stage where there's certain missions that kind of you can invite people to play. So I think it's a 4-player co-op. You can invite either, have an open game and have randoms come and join your game, or you can invite friends. But those are specific missions. You can't play through the entire thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow crossplay. So if you're on PlayStation, you can only play with PlayStation, Xbox only Xbox, and PC only PC.
I've got a quick question just with regard to that. The cross-platform compatibility of games, right? Certain developers have gone about making it possible, with Fortnite, for instance, which has become one of the biggest games in the world. Those that aren't adopting that yet, Gareth, why is that? What's holding them back?
I think, particularly to this game, there's the idea that Sony has the rights to certain Marvel characters that the others don't. So Spider-Man and the Spider-Man universe, for example. But I think crossplay, at first was this tech issue. We didn't know how. And then games like, I think some of the first were Rocket League and Fortnite, they kind of went, it doesn't matter. You can be platform agnostic. You can be playing on a mobile phone against a guy on a PC in a teammate with someone who's on PlayStation. And so people slowly realize that it's not the issue people think it is. But yeah, so I think some of it is IP and protecting the rights to certain properties, but some of it is the tech.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now, look, you're speaking about all this tech when it comes to all these games, and one tech positive when it comes to this game is that I believe not only can you choose all these different characters and these missions, but also the campaign itself seems to focus on the newbie superhero, Miss Marvel. So can you tell me a bit more about the character, overarching story, and also any other details, but without giving away the good stuff,
So yeah, you're right, Miss Marvel, and I think it's great they decided to go with a superhero that maybe is, we haven't seen representation in games before, of for one, many female. She's an Islamic character, so when it's not the typical, we always see blonde white guy all the time. So we're seeing different representation, and it's great because I think, if I see myself as obviously a white gamer, I've got to be the hero so many times. But I think for a lot of people, they've never got to see themselves or someone that represents them on screen. So I think it was a big call, and I think it's a really positive move forward for gaming. As you said, she's a newbie superhero, and what's so great is in the beginning, you'll interact with Thor and you just have this schoolgirl crush. You're kind of like, oh my word, it's Thor, I can't believe he spoke to me. In the beginning, you literally have no powers, and you're kind of swooning over all these superheroes. And then slowly you're kind of rubbing shoulders with them. And then there are moments where you're saving them and you're helping them out. And so you really feel like one of the team, which ties in with your progression, not only in the story, but as you as the gamer are getting more skilled in the game. So it's a really good tie-in that sense.
Now, finally, Marvel's Avengers, the game itself. Your verdict, is it a hit or a miss in your books?
If it weren't for the fact that we've had such really good superhero tie-ins, so I mentioned the Arkham games from Batman and then also the Spider-Man game, I would have given this a solid 8. But unfortunately, I can't remove myself from knowing that those other games have existed and the bar has been raised. So I'm going to give it a 7. The gameplay is still fun. It's still great to be able to play some of the superheroes you've never been able to play with before. But I think where some of the issues are, the load times are quite long. So you do something silly like you fall off a building, you missed a jump, and next thing you're waiting 30 seconds to a minute for the thing to load. And, you know, the way games have progressed, it's kind of getting to the stage where it's a little unforgivable. You know, part of me would just say, just be good and don't die ever in the game, and then you won't have to worry about that, but sure. And then I think that they've somehow, with the multiplayer, it feels like they've really tried to, like, push the, like, spending money point of view. So, like, grinding the game or buying credits to, like, upgrade your character. And for me, it's, you know, you buy the game once, you don't want to feel like you're like handcuffed to the game. Then
So
to
true.
experience more, but you've got to either grind or spend money. So it loses a little bit of points there. But you're just going to play the game for the single player campaign and maybe invite some mates over, then yeah, solid 7, really good game. You should have a lot of fun.
Oh, well, gee, thank you so much, Gareth Woods. That was an incredible review. And I think I'm definitely frothing to play some games. And I think I've got a plan for the weekend. Invite the buddies over and let's have a jaw.
Marvel Adventures there. Thanks a lot, Gareth.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Well, of course, you can give it your own opinion, give it a try, and let us know, of course, all across our social media pages what you think of this brand new game, Marvel's Avengers, now on consoles.